Okay, our fraction lesson today is on the meaning of one. What does one mean when you're talking about fractions? We talked about this a little bit the other day when we talked about this word. What does it mean to have the whole item, the whole cookie, the whole pizza, the whole chocolate bar? Okay, so we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And for this lesson, you need your pencil and your paper. So pause the video, make sure you're ready. Okay, when we talk about I have one whole pizza, what does that mean? It means you are a very lucky person is what it means if you get a whole pizza to yourself. But it means that you have each piece required to make the entire pizza. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 possible pieces of pizza and you have all 8 of them. That means you have one whole pizza. So in this case, 1 means 8 out of 8 pieces are all there. Okay, what does it mean if you have a cookie all to yourself? And that cookie has broken into 4 equal pieces. But you have each of those 4 pieces, although you would share with Mrs. Ratzlaff if you could. I know you would. I would not share with you because I do not share cookies. But we have 4 possible sections and all 4 of them belong to you. You have them all. So if we have 4 out of 4 sections, we have one whole cookie. And you should be writing this down, drawing your pictures, and when you are finished, you can go on in the video. All right, so let's talk about what does that mean when we're looking at fractions. So if I have 2 halves, so I don't read this number 2 tooths, I say 2 halves. So what I would like you to do is pause the video and draw a shape that has 2 equal sections. All right, you could have done it this way. Okay, you could have, this is a square, so we could have done it this way, or we could have done it this way, or the other way diagonally. Any of those ways would work if you drew a square. If you drew a rectangle, that won't work. Okay, so if I color in both of those, I have 2 halves. I have one whole square. Same with this one. 2 halves equals 1. 2 halves equals 1. And 2 halves equals 1. All right, let's try that with thirds. Thirds are sometimes a little bit harder to draw or to figure out how to do them equally. So we are going to say here that we have 3 thirds, which should equal 1 whole item. So let's try first of all a circle. So pause the video and divide that into 3 equal parts. All right, now this one is trickier for sure. I'm going to try to put it into 3 equal parts like that. And then we can try a rectangle. Pause the video and divide that into 3 equal parts. All right, so not exactly perfect, but we're, for this example, going to assume that those are 3 equal sections. So if I have all 3 sections, 3 out of 3, then I have one whole item, whatever that item might be. Okay, so you might think that's pretty easy, Mrs. Ratzlaff. I know that. Okay, well, there's a few things that we need to think about. Okay, let's assume that we have right here a cookie, and on this side we have a pizza. The cookie is divided into 4 equal parts. The pizza is divided into 8 equal parts. So here's our cookie, and we have got 4 quarters or 4 fourths, and here's our pizza, and we have 8 eighths. Okay, can you repeat that after me? 4 quarters or 4 fourths and 8 eighths. Make sure you say the TH sound on the end. Okay, so here we go. I have a question for you. 4 fourths is the same as 1. It's the same as 1 whole cookie. And 8 eighths is 1 whole pizza. Here's the question. Is this one the same as this one? Haha. Well, they're both 1, but we cannot compare fractions when we are talking about different items. So this is really important. We want to write this down together. When, so I want you to copy this down. When comparing fractions, you must use items of the same size, period. Okay, so pause the video until you have that down. All right, so let's take a look. Now let's make these 2 fractions, let's compare 2 things that are the same. So we're going to pick either cookies or we're going to pick pizzas. All right, so let's do 2 pizzas. So let's compare 2 pizzas, okay? We're going to divide each one into 8. Okay, on this side we can have a ham and pineapple. On this side we can have a veggie. All right, let's compare these 2 pizzas. And you should be writing this down and drawing this out with me as I go, boys and girls. Okay, so let's say that we had a ham and pineapple pizza. And we had, on this one, 5 pieces. Okay, I want you to write the fraction. Pause the video and write that fraction. All right, so out of 8 total pieces, 5 of those pieces were still there. These have been eaten. Okay, let's look at our veggie pizza. Our veggie pizza has 1, 2, 3 pieces remaining. The others have been eaten. So pause the video and write your fraction. All right, there are 8 pieces altogether possible, and there are 3 of them there. Okay, can we compare these 2 pizzas? Absolutely we can. They are the same size. Okay, so when we're looking at these 2, which pizza is bigger, which has more pizza left, which fraction is bigger? Well, 5 is bigger than 3. So we could draw a greater than sign in the middle, and we would say 5/8 is greater than 3/8. And I want you to say that with me this time. 5/8 is greater than 3/8. Okay? Now, what would happen if all of these pieces of pizza were here? Then we would have we would have 1 complete pizza, and over here we would have 1 complete pizza, and yes, these would be equal. This pizza, this fraction equals this fraction, and 1 whole equals 1 whole. Okay? All right, let's try a couple others. All right, so overall, let's switch to chocolate bars, shall we? So let's draw 2 rectangles. We're going to pretend that these are the exact same size. We're going to draw a line down the middle of each, and then we're going to draw a line down the middle again, and then we're going to divide those parts into sections. You should have 8 sections on each chocolate bar. Okay, pause the video to get ready. Okay, I am going to ask you to color in this amount on this chocolate bar, 2/8. And on this chocolate bar, I'm going to ask you to color in this amount, 7/8. So can you pause the video and do that, please? All right, 2/8, you could have picked any 2 squares. It does not matter which 2 you pick. And on this side, oh, little mistake here, Mrs. Ratzlaff. Look at that. Okay, 7. So any 7, you could have left any one of those blank. Okay, right here in the middle, I would like you to draw in your greater than or less than sign. Pause the video and do that, please. Okay, and 7 is bigger than 2, obviously. If somebody wanted to give you 7/8 of a chocolate bar, or they wanted to give you 2/8 of a chocolate bar, obviously you're going to take 7/8 of a chocolate bar. That one is bigger. So we draw the less than sign. So I'm going to say this sentence. 2/8 is less than 7/8. Say it with me. 2/8 is less than 7/8. All right. Now, I would like you to, for your assignment that you're going to take a picture of, I would like you to draw your own chocolate bar equation. So you can divide your chocolate bar into 8, or you could divide it into something else. But if one side is 8, the other side has to have 8 pieces as well. And if one side has 10 pieces, the other one has to have 10 pieces. What you're going to do is choose a fraction, a part to color in, write your fraction, color it in, and then write the greater than or less than sign in the middle. And that's what I would like to see you post up on your upload portion of your math today.